I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am.
Hey, there are no such thing as green eggs. You're a teacher, shouldn't you know that?
Actually, there are.
What?
Yeah, green salamanders, Ambystoma maculatum, have green eggs.
But how can they have green eggs?
Well, I think it's time for a field trip.
Yeah!
Here we are.
Whoa, they are green.
You see, class, semi-annually, the spotted salamanders comes out from underground to special, shallow woodland ponds called vernal pools in order to breed. The salamanders mate, and the female deposits the eggs at the bottom of the pond or on plants. They leave the eggs then, which will hatch in a month or two as larvae, becoming adult and go underground. Actually, both the embryo and the algae benefit from living in such close quarters. It's a perfect example of ectosymbiotic mutualism, and it is the only known case of an algae living within a vertebrate. The algae receives the carbon dioxide and the nitrogenous waste from the embryo, which are resources it needs to grow. In turn, the algae produce oxygen via photosynthesis for the embryo, which causes its metabolism to increase and it to produce more waste for the algae.
How do they know for sure that the algae is good for the embryos?
Well, the scientists that study spotted salamanders have seen that the embryos and algae-containing eggs hatch sooner, grow to a larger size as adults, have a lower embryonic mortality rate, and are more developed when they hatch.
But only the egg is green. It's not like the embryo is.
But the embryo may not be green, but there's algae living inside it intracellularly. When the algae blooms inside the jelly layer, the blastopore has just developed, and the algae enters the salamander through the blastopore.
How does the algae get inside the egg?
Well, no one knows for sure how this happens, but I have a couple of friends who may help us on this. To the bus.
Vertical.
Horizontal.
Vertical.
Horizontal.
Class, this is Dr. Ufila and Dr. Hypoxic. They're both experts on the symbiotic relationship between green algae and salamanders. We were wondering, how does algae get into the salamander eggs?
My hypothesis is a case of horizontal transmission. And the algae already exists in the ponds, and then by some method it enters the eggs after it has been deposited.
On the other hand, the hypothesis is that the case of the vertical transmission, I had discovered the algae in the oviduct of the female salamander. I believe they pass it onto their eggs.
Yes, there's nothing more mind-blowing than horizontal transmission.
You mean vertical transmission?
Horizontal.
Vertical.
Horizontal.
Okay,
Vertical.
class, I think it's time to go. I like green eggs and ham. I do like them, Sam I am.
Teacher, I was wondering, how do the salamanders make the eggs?
Class dismissed.